Folks, how sick was that Spider-Man trailer? We have Peter Parker pining for Mary Jane Watson once again. We've got Ned. We've got all the usual characters from the movies that have passed. This effectively Spider-Man 4 Brand New Day in this particular instance. We were told it's a street-level movie, and it certainly was confirmed. You've got the Punisher straight off the bat. His presence in the trailer has confirmed that it is indeed a street-level movie. Over and above that, you've got the hand from Daredevil. You would recall from Daredevil Season 2, between Matt Murdock and Elektra, they both had to take on the hand by themselves. That was quite a savage beating. But let's go through it. So we know it's a street-level movie. We know it's set in New York. We know that Peter Parker is living a fairly dull life in comparison to his initial start as Spider-Man, working with Tony Stark. This time around, he's independent. He's working by himself. He's got no partners, but he's got a litany of enemies. The enemies that I've seen from the trailer so far, it's very clear Scorpion is there. Finally, we've got Mac Gargan, Scorpion's character, that will be shown in this particular movie. We've also got the Hand, as I mentioned before. Now that's a group very synonymous with the origins of Daredevil. And what's interesting is that Daredevil, being a trained martial artist, struggled to take down the Hand. So with Spider-Man being more enhanced in terms of powers, taking the Hand on, that's going to be a very interesting battle to see. We know that Tombstone's going to be there as well. The actor that played Tombstone in the Spider-Man games is going to reprise his role in live action. And in the background, the voice narration, if you will, about the journey of a spider from infancy to adulthood was also greatly referenced. We've got the possibility that it's Tombstone. At first, I thought it was Tombstone's voice in the background. That stood to reason. But many fans are saying it's actually Keith David. Keith David, as we know, he's been in a number of movies over the years. And his voice has been lent to a number of notable characters, animated characters, if you will. Very recently, he was playing the character of the president, the US president, on the Rick and Morty show. But Keith David, very recognizable voice, very recognizable actor. He himself has recently received a Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame. I think a little over 6 months ago, probably closer to a year, which is a fantastic achievement because if you look at his career record to date, it's outstanding. But there's a lot of rumors that Sadie Sink of Stranger Things fame will be playing Jean Grey, and it's quite possible because the character from the trailer looks like they're using telepathic powers, but it's quite unlikely. I have a feeling it's actually another Daredevil known villain slash Spider-Man villain, kind of in the shared universe, if you will, of the character known as Typhoid Mary, who above litany of powers, I think she tackled the character named Shriek as well. She is also a telepath, a known telepath. So I suspect she's also going to be playing Typhoid Mary as opposed to Jean Grey, although it would be a nice segue for her to play Jean Grey, and a segue in terms of opening the door to the X-Men as well, into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or further opening the door, because as you know, we've seen Beast, we've seen Professor X in the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. There we go. Took me a while to get there. Exciting movie. You can see Peter is living the life of an adult, financially struggling adult from the looks of it, in New York City. So very much modernized in that sense. And what was even more interesting is that it looks like they've taken elements from both the comics as well as the Spider-Man the animated series. And I'll explain what I mean by that. I think it's very clear the mutant saga was kind of touched on, where Peter Parker, Spider-Man in this case, ends up becoming the Man Spider. So his genealogy, if you will, evolves him to the point where he adopts traits of being an actual spider. You'll see in the trailer, I think it's 1 minute into it, or 30 seconds into it, where he actually wraps himself up in a cocoon. And in the process, he opens up the cocoon, and then he falls down. And it's hard to say whether he was caught or a natural webbing came from his hands. And I think it's quite plausible it's natural webbing. That's the only way that he built the web, because that looks like a proper spider web. It doesn't look like anything artificial per se. But I think that he might have been caught by hand, probably by Matt Murdock, Daredevil. There's a last scene as well, or one of the last scenes is the battle with the hand. It's quite plausible that Spider-Man is not battling the hand by himself. He's probably got support from both Daredevil and Punisher. That's a given, in my opinion. But more likely, we're going to have a surprising character. Probably Bruce Banner's Hulk might also be in the case. But if the Hulk is in a battle, there's no ways on this green earth that the hand is going to jump in and try and attack the Hulk. They know they're going to lose. Not with such confidence, not in the air and with blades in hands, because the blades are not going to do anything to the Hulk in terms of full savage form. And it's a rumor that Bruce Banner's Hulk will be the Green Hulk, the Savage Hulk version of it, not the one that we've come to know in recent years post Avengers Endgame. Bruce Banner, I think he plays a pivotal role here. And I'll touch back my point about I'll take us back to my point about where the animated series comes into play. Now, those of you who remember the Neogenic Nightmare episodes, which were the first couple of episodes in the Spider-Man, the animated series franchise back in 94, bordering on 95 as well, where Peter develops this uncanny friendship with Dr. Kurt Connors. Connors, who's known for neogenics, basically exploiting the genealogy of a lizard in terms of its regenerative capabilities. And he did that so that he can recover his amputated arm. He was successful, and of course, as all of you know, all of you comic book freaks will know that he becomes the lizard, right? Very easy storyline, right? It seems that Bruce Banner is the one that's playing that role, the role of mentor, because there's no Tony Stark, there's no Kurt Connors as far as we know. Though ESU is referenced greatly on Peter Parker's jersey. So lots of interesting factoids there, lots of interesting Easter eggs in that sense. But my theory is that Bruce Banner is going to help him understand why he is malfunctioning as a superhero, why he's becoming a man spider, or maybe he's exhibiting certain points, certain aspects as well of a spider. So it's quite plausible that he will help him out with that, so much so they even analyze his blood and they look at the various simulations on the computer, and I think Banner will play a massive role in that sense. What I anticipate is that Keith David is in fact in this movie, and he could very well be the lizard, because the narration sounded like a criminal narrating it. Somebody quite sinister that really is passionate, or he really wants to get a hold of the spider, or Spider-Man in this case. I believe that Keith David is actually Dr. Kurt Connors, who becomes the lizard, and I think the lizard will very well show up in this particular movie. What are your thoughts, folks? Are you guys enjoying the street level storyline already? Who are you excited to see? Are you excited to see the Punisher, Daredevil possibility? If I was a betting man, I'll tell you Daredevil will definitely be on this movie. I'll put 100 Rand right on the table that he's there. And there's a high probability Typhoid Mary will also make an appearance, or rather play a pivotal role in this movie, as well as the Savage Hulk. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Otherwise, hasta la vista, and I'll see you in July when the movie comes out. Take care.